Art Lewis Show. Nice to have you with us today. I have a trio of culprits in the studio with me this morning to talk about something coming up very soon. That is the Hawkins Award. It is the 7th annual Hawkins Award. And to talk about it this morning and what it's all about, first of all, he is the chairman of the Saginaw County Commission and someone who's been involved in sports and sports history for quite a long time, ever since I've known him, and he is Jack Taney. Jack, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Good to see you. Also with us, a historian extraordinaire, and he is John Morey. John, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
And a man who's been telling us all about sports for as long as I can remember with MLive. He is Hugh Burnrider. Good morning, Hugh.
Good morning.
Good to see you all again. It's been a year already. My goodness. So there is something called the Hawkins Award, which comes up December 4th at the Saginaw Club. I think we need to start with a little history of the Hawkins Award and who Harry Hawkins was.
Okay, I'm going to start out here, Art. 8 years ago, we had a couple of Saginaw Club members, Tom Basil and Mike Day, sitting at the club. The Heisman Trophy was on TV, and Tom said, we should do something like this at the Saginaw Club. And the idea was born. First thing we did was get a group together to start a committee. Jack and Hugh, myself, our chairman, Judge Dave Hoffman, Jack Provenzano, Tim Gilmore, Dave Abbs, Steve Knoll, and Sarge Harvey. First thing we had to do was come up with a name. What are we going to call this? What are we going to call our Heisman Trophy? And we started throwing some names around of famous Saginaw athletes, Dick Reifenberg and Lamar Woodley. What are we going to call this award? And Jack looks at me and he says, Harry Hawkins. Now, Jack had Harry in his book, Glory. He's been inducted into the Saginaw County Sports Hall of Fame. And it was just the perfect fit.
So let's start with who was Harry Hawkins.
So Harry Hawkins graduated from Arthur Hill in 1922. He was the first recipient of the Julius Ippel Merit Cup Award. He was president of the Student Council. He went to play for Fielding Yost at the University of Michigan, 1922. Again, he was the president of his senior class. He was involved with the Tau Beta Phi Honorary Engineering Society. He graduated with a mechanical engineering degree. He was Saginaw County's first All-American. He went on to a career in General Motors, wound up here at Saginaw Steering Gear. And in the early 50s, his boss, Bud Dorfner, said to Harry, Chrysler had already invented power steering, and he put Harry in charge of a group of engineers to invent power steering for General Motors. And by 1952, power steering was in every vehicle, every General Motors vehicle has an option. In 1957, then he got an honorary alumni degree from the University of Michigan for engineering. He went on to be the president of the YMCA when they built the new building on Fordney Street. He was a trustee and was one of the founders of Delta College. So his career was more than just athletics. It was community. It was academics. And thus the Hawkins Award was born.
And we should point out, as we will when we hear about the athletes that are nominated, to become a Hawkins athlete, you have to have all those qualities. It's not just your play on the field, is it?
That's we've got three criteria, Art, and the first is, we pattern this after the Heisman Trophy. And Heisman Trophy annually is named after John Heisman and goes to the top college football player in the nation. Well, we wanted to do that for Saginaw County, but we wanted the most outstanding person as well as football player. So 50% of what they do their senior year on the football field is what we consider. 25% their grades, their SAT and their grades, and 25% what they do in the community. So it took me a while. We're now in our 7th year. It took me a while to figure out what we're doing here, because the Harry Hawkins Award is pretty special. And what we're doing is we're actually molding community leaders for the future. We want these people like Harry Hawkins. Harry Hawkins worked for GM in Ohio and in New York, but he came back to Saginaw. We want these young men to do the same thing. We want them come back to be our community leaders.
And is there, aside from a nice plaque or trophy or whatever, is there a financial incentive with this too?
Scholarships. We have some sponsors really step up to the plate. And first, the ultimate winner will receive $4,000 in scholarship money. The two runner-up, so there are no losers, the two runner-up, $2,000 each. I was listening the other day, you were talking to John Howell from the Soccer Association about sponsorships. And, the first year we did this, it was 2019, and we were flying by the seat of our pants. We wanted to get it done, and we did. So the next year, we sat down and said, hey, we need some sponsors, some local sponsors. I am elated to say we've got 3 sponsors that have been with us every year since we started asking. Frankenmuth Auto Fest, Morley Companies, and First State Bank are partnering with us. They've been a sponsor every single year. Happy to have them aboard. We're proud to have them as sponsors.
And then you have some others that you've picked up since.
Correct. I wanted to highlight those 3 for being with us every year.
3 is a magic number because that's how many young men are considered, right? They're probably more considered, but 3 end up in the finals.
Our goal is to get 1 nominated from every high school in Saginaw County, and there's 17 high schools. And what we want to do is I want to create some buzz. I want to get, besides the player and his parents and the coach, the athletic director, the superintendent, I'd like all of them to be involved as well, because we're recognizing somebody from their school. That Hawkins trophy is going to be in their trophy case for a full year.
All right, we're going to take a break, come back. We'll learn about the young men who are nominated and how the process works. All ahead with our guests here on WSGW. We'll be back.
Gotta go.
The player, the AD, the coach to send in applications, fill out the application, which has asking for grade points, asking for a whole page. Some have a whole page of community volunteer activities, and it's pretty impressive sometimes. And then eventually we look them all over and pick 3 that fit the criteria. But this year I would say is the deepest we've ever had. It's such a long list. I counted.
I got to stop you there because that is so good to hear. In this day and age where there's so much negative and all you hear is negative about young people and everything else, it is so good to hear that you had such a deep list of young men that meet all this criteria.
Oh, it was tough. I mean, there was...
Who does the picking? How is that done?
So we've created a matrix for these 3 categories. And then our committee then goes through, and it's a scoring system as we rate the athletics, the academics, and the community service. And we add up all the scores. And in this situation, like you was saying, we had a lot of ties here at the end, and we really had to sit down and have some good competitive banter as to how we were going to pick these 3 finalists.
And I still think there's going to be bantering. I don't think we've
good competitive.
So are you suggesting then that you have not yet picked the finalist?
Oh no! I think we're good.
We're not going to learn who it is, but
but I'll throw some names out of really incredible football players that didn't quite I mean, just to recognize them, Jamison Pelt from Swan Valley going to Grand Valley, Noah Reif from Michigan Lutheran Seminary, Cole Streeter from Valley Lutheran, Connor Greif from Heritage, Leighton Horde from Frankenmuth, Cash Tedford, Frankenmuth, Mel Washington, Saginaw United. And there's probably more that I don't have, but it was such a good class. Just incredible players this year. But we got 3.
And let's talk about those 3.
All
Who
right.
are they?
Well, we'll go alphabetically. John Carlson from Nouvelle.
Position?
He is a linebacker fullback. Nouvelle was 8-3, third in the Tri-Valley Blue. He finished with 111 tackles, which for a linebacker is pretty good. 23 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 6 quarterback hurries, 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, and
A partridge in a pear tree.
Yep. Oh, there's a bigger partridge later. I'll get to that
okay.
one. But and offensively, he ran for 8 touchdowns and caught 4 more.
Two-way player.
Yeah, these are all two-way players.
Yeah, you're going to find out, besides two-way players, multiple sport athletes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Several sports, but he was the big thing with him. His list of volunteer activities. I think he could have gone another sheet. It was just amazing. His volunteer activities, and he was over a 4.0. All 3 of these players are over 4.0, which when you think about it,
It is impressive.
Yeah.
it's slightly better than the 3 of us.
It's
Combined.
Slightly.
Combined?
Slightly.
How about 4 of us?
Yeah.
Combined.
It's a good thing we're good looking because that's even funnier.
Good thing it's radio.
Yeah. As you can see,
Art, can I imagine the athletic lineage in his Carlson family? His mother is Erin Luby, and she was a
She's a Luby. All right.
yeah, she's a 3-sport athlete at Nouvelle Catholic Central. Terry Luby, Arthur Hill High School, was a walk-on, played football at Michigan, and Erin Luby's dad, Johnny Luby, was a 3-sport athlete, tremendous athlete at St. Mary's Cathedral High School. Just showed you the athletic
Too bad
lineage.
the kid has none of the talent.
Yeah. Tough to compete with mom, right?
yeah.
Okay, so he's one of them.
Yep. The next one is Tristan Comer from Freeland, and he's also a great basketball player. So you talk about multi-sport stars. Also over 4.0, also a list full of volunteer activities. He's already committed to Michigan State to play offensive line for the Spartans. But this year, he played both ways, defensive line, offensive line. He led Freeland in tackles with 61, tackles for loss with 12. And as a defensive lineman, those are really impressive numbers because most of the tackles go to the linebacker.
Right.
If you're a defensive lineman with 61 tackles, you lead the team. That's impressive. 3 sacks, block punt, fumble return for a 29-yard touchdown. Offensive lineman. He played tight end earlier, but Michigan State looked at him because he's like 6'6", 280.
Oh, wow. Hey,
So-
how old?
He's 17 or 18,
18?
yeah. So they looked at him and said, you could be tight end, or you can put another 20 pounds on you. And he's athletic. He plays center on the basketball team. So very athletic. The team was 7-3, finished third in the Tri-Valley Red division, and they were one of the best teams in our area. And like I said, he's over 4.0 and a long list of volunteer activities.
And the Spartans need them.
Yes,
Plug him in right now. Yeah.
And his
You know,
his dad was the Arthur football coach for a couple of years, I believe.
You talk about these kids that are 6'2" and all of that. And I've been involved with the Saginaw Spirit for years and years, and these young men come in 6'4", 6'5", before you put the skates on,
Yep.
and you're looking up like the Tower of London. Look at the size of these people. My goodness, it's unbelievable how big some of these young people have gotten these days.
Well, you look at Harry Hawkins; he was only 6 foot, 198 pounds.
Shorty.
As a tackle, college
Yeah,
tackle.
those days where everybody was smaller than I think. So that's number 2. How about number 3?
Number 3, and for the first time in Hawkins history, we have 2 from the same school.
Really?
Yeah. Xander Wheatley from Freeland, also over 4.0. He had over 120 volunteer hours. He's committed to play for Saginaw Valley, so he's already committed to play college football as a defensive back. But this year, for Freeland, he played receiver, safety, cornerback, quarterback, wingback, and kick returner. So, and he's one of the state's top hurdlers. So
Wow.
he was all-state last year in the hurdles. I believe he set the Freeland hurdle record. So incredible athlete. On defense, he had 30 tackles, 7 interceptions. He returned 3 of them for touchdowns. On offense, he caught 21 passes, 4 touchdowns, and just a incredible athlete. And like I said, his grade point and everything is off the chart. You might have some parental lineage over there.
Yeah, lineage again. Xander's dad, John Wheatley, 3-sport athlete at Newville Catholic Central, and played football and was an outstanding linebacker at Saginaw Valley. And then John's grandfather, Ed, was a quarterback out at St. Charles back in the day on some outstanding St. Charles teams that are in the Saginaw County Sports Hall of Fame. So it just shows you they're staying here and developing their talent.
I understand why you say there might be some bantering. I'm glad I don't have to choose one of these 3. We're going to take a break and come back. We'll tell you how the ceremony works and how you can come to it, by the way. All of that ahead.
Join us for the kickoff.
And we're back with you in studio with me, Jack Taney. He is chairman of the Saginaw County Board of Commissioners, but he's also involved with the Hawkins Award. And John Morey, an outstanding historian on many, many different topics, owns an engineering company and a member of the Hawkins Award Committee. And Hugh Burnrider, who's been writing about sports forever. And we have to have one of those with us at all times. So let's talk about the ceremony. It's at the Saginaw Club on December 4th, right?
Yep, Thursday, December
And
4th.
for those who hear, well, the Saginaw Club, yes, it's a private club, but that day anyone can attend, right?
You are correct. Social hour at 6 o'clock. There's hors d'oeuvres and a cash bar. The program starts immediately at 7 p.m. Tickets are $20, and as you mentioned, anybody can come. They ask for an RSVP. Saginaw Club, 989-754-8404. And again, just $20. And it's a fun evening. It's a really fun evening.
So one of the things that we started here, Jack and Hugh are the MCs. They're the real entertainment for the award, for the and what we stared a couple years.
These two are entertainment?
Yes. Hugh always opens with a
known
joke.
them a while.
One of the things we started 4 years ago is we're having a distinguished athlete come up and actually read the winner's name. Clifton Ryan was our first one. Ron Stanley. Last year was Blair White. And this year our special presenter is Monty Brown. Monty Brown from Bridgeport High School, Ferris State, and Super Bowls with the Buffalo Bills. So we've kind of added a little touch to the award ceremony by doing that.
And he'll have a couple words of wisdom for those three athletes when he does bring up that winning envelope.
And the program takes about how long?
Not long, probably about 30 minutes to get through their accolades. Then we have the winning envelope, as John just mentioned. That's mentioned. And then, we're lucky. We've got tremendous media coverage. All three TV stations are there. And the winner gets to hoist that trophy, and it's huge. And we're very proud of the trophy. And we know the players are as well.
What's the relationship? I see my good friend Renee Johnson's going to be there. What's the relationship with the foundation?
We work with the Saginaw Community Foundation. All the monies get routed through the Community Foundation, and Renee is our
fiduciary. How's that?
Keeps track of everything.
Keeps us on the up and up.
Yes.
That's Renee. No doubt about that.
And Renee will have some words for the families and for the inductees, because there's other scholarships available through the Community Foundation and through her organization. So we love having Renee show.
So the nomination process, you guys depend on the schools or somebody to nominate these athletes.
It actually starts, and Hugh can tell you, we start a year in advance where the junior class, what athletes came out of the junior class. So this year, that can be on our watch list for next year, and Hugh can speak more on that.
Yeah, so we'll have a list of maybe 10 that we know of, but there's always a couple that show up that might surprise us. But we usually go in with a list of 10 or so that we know are going to be good as seniors. But
that's based on their playing ability,
yes,
as opposed to
only,
all the other, plus
right,
the only other things.
Because most of the time we're not aware of their other things. But after that, it's really very dependent on ADs, coaches, players, because they have to let us know what their grade point is, what their volunteer activity is, and it's a lot of responsibility on them.
Can players nominate themselves, or other players nominate them?
I don't think there's anything, no rule against it, right?
Yeah, okay. That's just curious.
I believe. Where can you get the applications?
The applications are online, the Saginaw Club's website. I always send out to all the coaches the applications and the criteria. Judge Hoffman sends a letter along with that application to all the schools saying what we need, and then we go from there.
And when are the applications due?
The applications were due October. The end of October.
For this year's class.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really tight from the end of the season to when we vote.
That's why I asked, because it doesn't
tight.
seem to be a big window here.
No, not at all. In fact, some are
still playing.
Well, not this year.
Not this year.
But yeah, some could still be playing because the state finals are this weekend.
Sure, right, yeah. And
so,
if they make the finals, they're still playing.
And that's why usually there's a crush of applications in the final week, because they wait till the end of the regular season, and then they got like a week.
Yeah, the first week of November is when we really make our push for all of the applications.
And so how many meetings do you have to sit down and finally select whose name's in that envelope?
Well, like you said, we start out with his watch list that has at least one player from every team, sometimes multiple. So we usually have about 20 kids we're looking at right off the bat, and then as we meet monthly, that list starts getting pared down till we get to about 10 of them. And this year we had a good list. We really had to lean on the submittals to us for the academics and the community involvement.
Just out of curiosity, are these students interviewed at all? So it's all on the paperwork.
No, it's all on what they submit.
And some coaches do a tremendous job filling out those and providing us with the letters of recommendation that's required. Other coaches is like pulling teeth, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
So,
gee, what else is different? Not just coaches. All right, we're going to take a break. Come back, tell you more about the Hawkins Award, December 4th at the Saginaw Club.
We're proud to make
Studio for the Hawkins Award, Jack Taney, who is the chairman of the Saginaw County Commission and a member of the committee, and John Morey, who is a noted historian at the Saginaw Club and also owns an engineering company, a member of the committee, and Hugh Burnrider, who has been writing about sports ever since I can remember, works for M Live, formerly the Saginaw News, and also a member of the committee. So these young men will all be there. There'll be 3 of them there. And the winner gets pretty nice cash prize of $4,000 for scholarship. And the trophy is what? Is it designed along the basis of a Heisman? Or?
We had an outstanding artist, John Martinez, who designed this trophy. And we've had a little hurdle with what we can actually give these kids because of the NCAA rules. So right now,
Wait.
MHSAA rules.
Yep.
I was going to say, because they're not
MHSAA
in the
rules.
NCAA yet.
Not yet.
And NCAA doesn't have a lot of rules anymore, so MHSAA
That's a whole
rules.
nother show. That's a whole nother show.
MHSAA has a limit to how much they can receive
value.
in compensation. Yes, in value.
Outside of scholarships.
Yep, it's a whopping $25.
Yep. Now they can accept more, but they would be ineligible for other sports. After that.
Oh.
So you could actually, if we had this in May or June, you could probably give them as much as you wanted to, because their season would be over because they wouldn't have any spring sports or winter sports.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's just the timing of it. You know, if they take more than what's allowed, then they're ineligible to play a winter sport or a spring
So
sport.
how do you build a trophy for under $25?
well, right now it's just a plaque.
Okay.
And the scholarship.
The trophy is a traveling trophy that goes to the school
And that doesn't matter then. That
Right.
could be okay. So the school gets the trophy in their display case.
for a year.
The winner gets a plaque.
Yes.
And the runner-up, they get plaques too.
Yes. Yep.
And all of this happens on December 4th. Again, it's at the Saginaw Club, but it is a public event. Public is invited to attend for $20. And how do they get tickets?
You can RSVP with the Saginaw Club, 989-754-8404. Excuse me. Tickets are $20. And hors d'oeuvres during the social hour, and there's a cash bar.
And then the awards ceremony takes place
Promptly at 7 p.m.
promptly.
Yes.
And being there before, I can tell you they do start on time. They don't hold you there all night. It's kind of a nice event. And all of the preamble to that night are explained, the nomination process and everything. Jack, I know you do that.
Yeah, we have a program, and we briefly explain who Harry Hawkins is and the voting process and things of that. So, but one of my favorites is once that ultimate winner is named, the other finalists walk over and shake his hand. It's the nicest thing you ever want to see. So they get it. They're finalists. They're all winners, and they get it. So that's fun.
Well, you know, think about this, though. I'm not surprised, and I'll tell you why. You watch football, I know you all do. And what happens at the end of a game, a hard-fought battle, somebody wins, somebody loses, and all of a sudden you see all these players all heading out into the field, and this one's shaking that one's hand, and this one's hugging that one.
They're hugging and exchanging jerseys.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not surprised that these 3 would do that. I would expect that, actually.
Yep, it's cool to see.
It is. It is. Well, it's cool to see this much talent in one place. So, Hugh, who's on next year's list?
Actually,
You got it already. Huh?
yeah. Well, there's some juniors that stood out. You know, they're the
So
one.
let me ask you this: some juniors stood out. A year from now, you think they'll be on the list?
They'll be on the list, whether they're one of the finalists.
Yeah,
We've had a couple that have gotten injured.
Yeah,
and-
injuries take apart their senior year, and so
Which is unfortunate.
yes,
Yes.
And we've had a couple in years past that actually had a junior year that might have won it in their junior year. came into their senior year, didn't have quite as good of a
Well,
year.
that's the nature of the beast, isn't it?
Senior only award.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, listen, we thank you for being with us as always, and we